Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Learning Path, and this is the part 8 for our HTML tutorial. Yeah, so to learn something new, we have to subscribe my channel and don't forget to like, share my videos. So let's get started. So um CSS is a different language, but do you know we can combine it with our HTML? Do you know what? We can. So, if you don't know, that's not a big deal. We'll make you know about it. So, first, let's know that what is CSS. So, in this session, we are going to learn about CSS. So, what is CSS? So, CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. CSS is a style sheet that provides a set of rules for defining layout of the HTML document. Using CSS, you can control the color of the text, style of fonts, spacing between paragraphs, size, layout of columns, background images, as well as a variety of other effects. Style sheets are designed to separate the presentation style of documents from the content of the document. This makes maintenance much easier and provides more flexibility. So, now we are able to know that what is CSS. So CSS stands basically for cascading style sheet, and it provides a set of style rules, okay, to define the layout of HTML doc or the documents. It is majorly used to design, decorate. So we have our CSS terminology. So do you know what is CSS terminology? So let's know about it. While using CSS tags in an HTML doc, you have to follow a defined structure of it. The basic structure of a CSS tag is as shown here. So our first and the most important tag is CSS property. So this property, it defines how elements look on the web page. For example, font family, color, background, border, etc. All are the examples of the property. Do you remember that in our last session we have done these all things from the property sector? Yeah. So let's move towards the next. So what is value? This is the value or the option chosen for the property. For it's a typical language, so let's understand it easily. So for example, value for the font family property can be the font names like monotype, Coursera, Times, Arial, like this means the value for the property. Okay, like I have chosen the background, so I have chosen the background color equals colon, I'll write dodger blue or slate blue. So this dodger blue and slate blue are the values of the property. So next we have declaration. Can you see over here? This is the declaration. A property and its values are collectively known as declaration. Like this. For example, color, this is the property and this is the value. So they both are visible equally, so collectively, so this is known as declaration. Next we have more properties or are more CSS tags, which are selector. This is selector. It is name for the HTML element which you want to apply the declaration. It is a name for the HTML element. For example, like the name of the element is h1. So this h1 is a selector. So we have selected the h1. We have written the property. Then we have a value over there. So this is known as our selector. Next we have our rule. Declaration and selector together form a rule. So when we have the declaration and selector both are the same, so I have created such a flowchart for you, so you are able to know about it. So we have this tag. So this is an element, HTML element. So this HTML element is a selector. Okay, don't confuse it, right? It is very easy. So the HTML tag, like this h1 is the selector. This color, the name of the property, is the property. This is blue, which is the value. This both are the declaration, and this all together, this selector and declaration together form a rule. So next, how to use CSS? There are three ways to use CSS, which first one is inline, second one is internal, and third one is external. So do you know what is inline? By using the style attribute inside HTML elements, like in a rule form. Okay, in a rule form. So by using a style element in the head section or after the head section. External, by using a link element to link to an external CSS file. So the most common way to add CSS is to keep the style in external CSS file. However, in this tutorial we'll use inline and internal styles because this is easier to demonstrate and easier for you to try it yourself. But we'll try the external one too. So, what is inline CSS? An inline CSS is used to apply a unique style to a single HTML element. A inline CSS uses the style attribute of an HTML element. The following example sets the text color of the H1 element to blue and the text color of P element to red. So, no props, we'll try it now. So just comment down that in which text editor do you want it, in our notepad or in our Visual Studio Code. So for now we are using the notepad because it is easier, but uh, the VS Code is more easier, so let's try the VS Code. Or I think we should use notepad. So I have created an new file over here. So let's start it. So our first one is, so what's the syntax for a simple document for HTML is, first we have to put the doc type HTML. Oh, doc type HTML, which shows us what, comment down that what it shows. So basically it shows the latest version of HTML. Then we have HTML, then we have head. In head we have our title. After our title we have the title, welcome to the to the HTML world. So here we will close the title tag. Next, then we will close our head tag. Then we'll start our body tag. Then in the body tag I have added the h1. So in inline Basically, we are talking here about the basic inline. So in the inline CSS tag, we have to do in such a way that uh, you have learned that how to form a rule. So first we have to add this. Okay, then we have to add inverted commas over here, and after inverted commas we'll put the property. So for example, font family. So the font family, then we'll add our value. Simple. So our value is aquamarine, and we'll just close it. Before closing, we'll do it, and hi to HTML world. Now H1 closed. Now we'll just do Control S, save it in the desktop, and save. So where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I can't see it. Doc type, doc type, doc type, doc type, doc type. This is. Oh, open. We haven't saved it. Okay, Control C, and we'll just create a new doc, which is add. Control V. We have added it all. So I'll just Control S over here, and save it the name as HTML, and desktop, and we'll put over here, oh, HTML dot txt or htm. They both are the extensions as you have studied earlier too. So HTML, can you see over here? Open it and say hi to HTML world. So but there is some issue that it ain't show. Oh, in the font family we have written aquamarine. That's the problem. So in the font family I'll write so I'll put Arial over here. Arial. And never forget to put a style tag over here. And now Control S, go to here, refresh it, and can you see the font family? So the font family is Arial. So if you don't want Arial, let's change it. Um, let's change it to Algeria. Okay, I think we have some spelling mistake. Let me check it. Yeah, it's not Algeria, it's Algerian. Algerian. Yeah, so just Control S and let's go over here. I think we haven't made any mistake. So So it has changed into Algerian. Can you see? This is changed into Algerian. So now let's move to our internal CSS. So the internal CSS have some the internal CSS is used to define a style for a single HTML page. An internal CSS is defined in the head section of an HTML page within a style element. Color of all the P elements to red. In addition, the page will be displayed with a powder blue background color. So let's try it. So welcome back to our so welcome back. So next in the head tag we have to put this style tag, style, and enter. And here I'll write simple body. So in the body, if I have to write, where is the curly bracket? Right here. So I want the background property. Background property to be powder blue. And just curly bracket closed, enter, and then H1 color red. And after this we have to put these two curly brackets. So just control S and let's go over here and just refresh it. So there was some issue. Let me just remove the there was some issue that we haven't closed it and you haven't remind me. Yeah, so we have to close the style tag too. So control stay S and let's go to our this server and hi to HTML world. Okay, so can you see the H1 tag is changed into HTML, right? And the background is changed into aquamarine color. So let's just know about the external CSS. So the external CSS is used to define the style for many pages. To use an external style sheet, add a link to it in the head section of each HTML page. For example, doc type HTML head link this, border this, and like this. So let's try it. So after it we'll write ring and rel, then we'll write equals to inverted commas and style sheet. Simply ref equals to let me just find a link for it. So this is the link which I have got. So and I'll just close it. So I'll just control S it and I'll to come to HTML world and just refresh it. It was complicated, but we have solved it. So now let's move to our next element, which is CSS fonts, colors, and sizes. Here we will demonstrate some commonly used text CSS properties. You will learn more about them later. The CSS color property defines the text color to be used. The CSS font family property defines the font to be used. The font size property defines the text size to be used. So we have done this all properties. So next, CSS border. So we have also done this border too in our last session. If you haven't watched that video, you can go and watch. So this is CSS padding. So we haven't done the padding, so we'll try it. The CSS padding property defines a padding space between the text and the border. Example, use a CSS border and padding properties. Syntax P like this. So we'll use it in our H1. So after this color red property, I'll write the padding property over here. So border equals, it will cover our both properties, 2px solid red. Okay, solid red has space. And then we have padding. So we have written our code. Now just save it and go to your file, refresh it. So can you see, this is called the padding. So this is our text, this is our border. There is this 30 pixels difference between the border and it. So this is known as the padding property. So next, let's move towards our next property, CSS margin. The CSS margin property defines this margin space outside the border. For example, use a CSS border and margin property. Syntax. Okay, so we'll just add the margin property to in it. So just add margin 50px and this. Just control S and go here and refresh it. So can you see this difference before and after, right? So this is the use of margin property. So let's move towards. So link to an external CSS is our next property. External style sheets can be referenced with a full URL or with a path relative to the current web page. For example, this example uses a full URL to link to a style sheet. So this is a link, this is a style sheet. For example, this example links to a style sheet located in the HTML folder on the current website. So this is so these all were the examples to how to do that. So now we have reached to our chapter summary. So use the HTML style attribute for inline styling. Use the HTML style element to define internal CSS. Use the HTML link element to refer to an external CSS file. Use the HTML head element to store style and link elements. Use the CSS color property for text colors. Use the CSS font family property for text fonts. Use the CSS font size property for text sizes. Use the CSS border property for borders. Use the CSS padding property for space inside the border. Use the CSS margin property for space outside the border. So we have some of the HTML style tags which are tag description. So this style tag defines style information for an HTML document, and this link defines a link between a document and an internal resource. So thank you and have a nice day ahead. Don't forget to subscribe and like my channel. So bye bye.